What's up? Muted? Yeah. Oh, man. Fraud's getting checked again. I know, dude. The world is healing. Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, the top G and the problem child, have taken losses back to back days. Crazy work. Thoughts on top G? I mean, I don't really think about him, so I guess I don't have any thoughts. He's alright. Both Tate and the Chase dude look like they're fighting and look like they fighting and not drown underwater. Yeah. Crazy refresh pool. Yo, what's up, Alice 80? What's good, man? Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. What's up? How's it going? Yeah. They keep saying slurs and sending gay porn and getting the GCs banned. Wait, what are you talking about, 680? Can you clarify? I don't know what you're talking about. Where are they spamming that at? YouTube took out my comment prior. Well, then can you just tell me? I saw people defending Tate that he's 40. Meanwhile, Anderson Silva, Yoel Romero, and Tony Ferguson are still whooping ass. I guess Joni the God, what they're trying to do is saying Andrew Tate hasn't fought in 10 years, and Silva and Tony Ferguson have been fighting. But yeah, either way, you're losing to a YouTuber. It ain't a good look, right? It's not a good look, isn't it? The biggest MMA shit posters on TikTok. I see. I don't really use TikTok ever, to be honest. I use YouTube Shorts, but not really a TikTok guy, you know? I just don't really like that TikTok algorithm. It never shows me what I want to see, so I don't use it. That's it. Homey old fashioned, man. Um Either way. A guy sent something so bad, it got the group chat straight up banned, not even suspended, it got banned. Damn. Online degeneracy. It never stops. Truly. Andrew Tate and Jake Paul were losing great things. Yep. I mean, hey, man. Respect to him, but it is what it is. He sent a sticker of a femboy using a vibrator. Oh, that's terrible. What the fuck? Boxing makes me appreciate how little time in between fights we have in MMA. I know, dude. Boxing fucking is so annoying. Like an hour between fights. It's the most ridiculous crap. And they wonder why they lose viewership. I know people were clowning Jake Paul, but at least he lost to AJ, one of the best heavyweights. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate loses to a bum Demore. Yeah. Chase Demore, dude. Crazy. The top G is now the bottom G, apparently. That was not a good look for Andrew Tate. You know? Hey, good look, man. The top G is cooked. Top G becomes bottom G. What the fuck? Oh boy. So you guys ready for another month of no UFC? How you guys hanging in there? You know? Oh man. Are you fighting Baraujo? Who you taking? I'll go Baraujo by decision after seeing RER gas out. Andrew Tate's performance was embarrassing, but can't blame the man. He's washed. And how can one's cardio be so shit? Them cigars, man. Yep. 39 years old and cigars, without a doubt. This weekend makes me happy that it shows boxing shit. It makes me so happy to be an MMA fan even more. Yep. Dude, I don't know. Unc, you saw the MMA fight last night? 16 takedown attempts by Jake Magomedov. LOL. Yeah, I saw it, bro. I did indeed see it. I saw it. Hilarious. Truly hilarious. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Tyson Fury versus Joshua seemed like a really fun fight, though. Yeah, it does. It does. I met my girlfriend's parents today. How'd that go? Yo, did you see Andre Arlovsky had a brawl with Jack Doherty and his friends getting manhandled one-handed? I mean, dude, Jack Doherty's such a coward. He's always starting fights and then hiding behind security. So, yeah, I saw that. That was ridiculous. But not surprising, right? Yoel Romero is fighting Hunt BKFC. What? Yoel Romero versus Lorenzo Hunt. On February 7th. That's a couple months from now. So we got a little bit of time. 2.5 months. All right. 2.5 months. What fight are you looking forward to the most when the UFC comes back? You know what? Let me look at the fights because honestly, I don't know. But oh shit. Mm, dude, honestly, probably Fiziev versus Rufy. It's gonna be a sick striking matchup. I'm excited for that fight. The title fights are kind of lackluster. I'll be honest. Volk versus Lopez 2. We just seen that fight, right? Less than a year ago. And then we're doing Pimlet Gaethje. It's like we know Pimlet's just gonna steamroll Gaethje and get a submission or a TKO. It's like it's hard to get excited for these title fights, man. It really is because they're not the right title fights, right? I'm hyped for Arnold Allen, Gene Silva. Yeah, that's a good fight. That's a banger too. I guess Magumbo fumbled the bag to fight Jake Paul because he couldn't understand it and confuse. Okay, sure. Yeah, what was the one I wanted to see Jake fight? He didn't want his head knocked off his shoulders, dude. You guys remember whenever Yoel Romero threw that spinning back fist against Whitaker and Whitaker ducked under it, dude? That shit would have landed. Whew. That was brutal. That would have been brutal. The amount of force and power that would have generated. Yoel Romero's a freak of nature. 48 years old, still knocking out dudes. Crazy. Yoel, Soldier of God Romero. Oh, yeah, dude. Fucking yawns. How's your guys' weekend so far? Everybody having a good Saturday? I had a Christmas party tonight. We went to me and my wife with our family. It was a good party. We had a good time. So yeah. I used to have a problem with title fights, but I don't care as much anymore. Murphy never really deserved the shot, in my opinion. Movzar hasn't been anywhere near as active as Lopez. Yeah, John. John, I'm not really talking about who deserves it. That does matter to me, but I just saw Volk versus Lopez, right? I don't want to see the same fight again, right? I like variety. Why are we doing the same fight 2 times in a row for Volk? I hate that. Plus, I can see why they aren't giving Armin the title shot because he lost a lot of money. Yeah, that's true. But why not do Patty versus Max, right? Why not do Patty versus Charles? Well, maybe not Charles. He just had a shot, but you get what I'm saying. I want to see different fights. I don't want to see Patty fight washed up old strikers anymore, right? These fights don't interest me. They're not exciting because I know what's going to happen. If I pretty much know what's going to happen, like if Lopez Volk 2 was a fresh matchup, I wouldn't care, right? It is what it is. I get it. You got to balance entertainment with meritocracy. I understand. But whenever you're doing the same fight or you're doing a fight versus when there's an obvious outcome, I lose interest, man. I lose interest. I wonder why Tate didn't want Darren Till as his opponent. He'll get KO 100%. The UFC seems to not care about fighters' legacy at all. We can see Volk go out and lose his legacy, Amanda Nunes being sacrificed, etc. Well, to be fair to the UFC, Amanda Nunes doesn't have to come back. That's her decision, right? So, but yeah, even Volk has been outspoken about it, saying he would have preferred fighting Murphy or Movzar. But the UFC wanted, he said the UFC wanted Lopez because they want that Mexican market. They do. I know Diego Lopez is Brazilian, but he's resides out of Mexico, and yeah, yeah. Prime Yoel Romero would have been a problem for current middleweights, dude. Yoel Romero came into the UFC so late. I think Yoel Romero made his UFC debut when he was like 35. How do you feel about Movzar versus Lerone Murphy as the main event for London? Honestly, excited for co-main or main. Seems like Izzy is not gonna fight. Yeah, I think that's a perfect fight, Peso, for giving Lopez a shot. Movzar versus Lerone Murphy. That's a banger. They're both 9-0 in the UFC. They're both undefeated, so somebody's O has got to go. At least Lerone Murphy versus Movzar is going to be a good fight in the UFC London headliner. Yeah, it's a good fight. Why did Movzar just like take an entire year off his career not fighting? I mean, the guy's not exactly a spring chicken. He's almost 32 years old. I think in February he'll be 32. Just wasting his career. Oh, I forgot. He's from Russia, right? And if there's not a perfect training camp with no injuries, they pull out of a fight. My bad. Man. It feels like more than any other culture, Russian fighters don't seem to want to fight unless they have like the perfect circumstances. Habib is a perfect example of this. They have to have a perfect training camp, perfect opponent, no short notice fights. There little to no injuries, or they pull out. That's what it feels like a lot of the time. Who do you got on Bruno Ferreira versus Paulo Costa? Bruno Ferreira by decision. Andrew Tate, what about him? He got embarrassed, right? And he pulled out of a fight for getting injured doing push-ups. Little bro, you do them by the hundreds on the daily, according to him. Andrew Tate looked hilariously bad. I mean, yeah, that's 10 years out of the cage and almost 40 years old smoking cigars every day. Not exactly going to look like a world beater. Also, Covington in his prime would beat current welterweights. No, he wouldn't. Too small, no power, no threat on the ground. He wouldn't be able to take him down, dude. They're too big. Imagine Colby Covington trying to take down Michael Morales, dude. That would be laughable. Colby Covington's too small for modern day welterweights. They're too big. They cut too much weight. They have too much of a size advantage, right? I thought Tate could win the match. Yeah. But he didn't. The cardio. Yeah, but that's all he would have, right? He would have cardio, but he doesn't really have a submission threat. He has pillow hands. He would be outsized by 20 to 25 pounds by most of the division. He's also shorter. He doesn't have a long reach, right? So all he has going for him is cardio. I don't think that would be enough for him to give these other guys problems. I really don't. So I disagree. Hey, love. What would Apple be taking out $18 for out our account? Do you know? Got a charge from Apple for 18.43. Let me look this up. And that you sure that's not tax? What is it called? Ever what? Yeah, that sounds about right. 16.99 plus tax, 18.43. I think that's. It says apple.com/bill. It gives a phone number. I can Google the phone number. Anyways, sorry guys. Tate was a letdown, man. He did drop good gems all week. Yeah. It's unfortunate, right? I can't believe people are defending Andrew Tate for being a badass for fighting Demore. Plus, they're having a tough pill to swallow from our pathetic Tate fans. Yep. Delusional. You're delusional. You're delusional. Why am I singing Mariah Carey? What the fuck? Tate's the best boxer of the 2010s. What 6 weeks of no UFC does to a motherfucker? Talking about Tate and Jake Paul. Yep. Yes, sir. Uncle that has a majestic voice. Do I have a majestic voice? Fun fact, guys, if you want to know something about me, I almost didn't do YouTube because I hate the way I sound so much that I don't want to hear my voice. And here's another fun fact for you guys. Whenever I upload a video, I do not listen to it back. I do one take. I don't watch the video back. I just post it because I don't like my own voice. I'll listen to like 30 seconds of it and then I'll just post it. Make sure the audio is good. But I don't watch the whole video. Hell no. Fuck that, dude. Listening to your voice and recording is the worst. Yeah, I felt pathetic talking about them. I blame the UFC. Yeah, there you go. I don't. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Not bad for a majestic white boy. I'm a white boy and I'm jacked. Deal with it. And we lost more subscribers, boys. Why you listen to your own voice? It's like the worst voice of all time. When? Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's part of your job to listen back to your voice. Damn, man, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But hey, somebody's got to do it, I suppose. Right? If not you, it'd be someone else. Tate fight was worse than Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Yeah. I have a nice voice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Owen. Yeah. Andrew Tate with no gas tank, dude. Looking embarrassing out there. Andrew Tate doesn't want his videos back either. Watch him. I enjoyed like the last 2 rounds of Jake Joshua when Joshua was connecting. It did seem like he was pulling his punches, but it is what it is. On a positive note, at least Tony Ferguson got another impressive win. Dude, boxer Tony Ferguson, a new mythical fighter, you know? So where would you rat Volk if he gets sparked out? Rank Volk if he gets sparked out cold and retires? I'll have him at like number 5 or 6 all time. Probably 5 or 6. If he wins, honestly, it doesn't do anything for his legacy. I really don't rate another win over the same guy. I just don't. It doesn't. He just did it, especially if it's the same thing, like a 4-1 Volk decision. It's like, what's the point? I just think it's a waste of a fight. UFC is just, yeah. Volk isn't losing to Lopez. Sorry to say. Yeah, probably not. But hey, we'll see. We're gonna find out Saturday night, baby. Night out in Hawaii, baby. On a positive note, at least Tony Ferguson got another. I already read that. I don't like Tony winning in boxing. His boxing wins are over cans are making him more delusional. Damn. Just do Murphy Volk after this because Mavs aren't gonna fucking fight. Mavzar Evloev. Yeah, Mavzar fucking fights once in every 6 years. They're probably going to have a custom Mexican belt ready for that fight. Yep. You already know they're going to. The UFC's so thirsty to get a Mexican champion, dude. They're so thirsty to get a Mexican champion. They think that Lopez can be the next fucking Canelo. That ain't going to happen, buddy. What's up with these Russians being inactive merchants? Wakas, here's what I'll blame it on. Here's why I think Russians are inactive. I think a lot of them are discouraged by their family members. Habib talks about this. Hamzat talks about this. Even Islam. A lot of these fighters are discouraged by their family members to pursue a fighting career. So I think there's heavy influence from the parents to not fight as often, and try to get out of the sport early. I think that plays a factor. I also think religious obligations, being a Muslim, Ramadan can play a factor. I also think they overtrain a lot of the times, which can lead to more injuries. And I also think that Russians train in a culture where if there's any significant injuries, they will never fight compromised ever. They always go into a fight nearly perfect. Yeah, I think it's all those factors. If you add all that together, I think that's why we see a lot of and they don't want to fight other Muslims, which causes like jam packs in division. So I think that that's the reasons, in my opinion. So yeah, the Tony Ferguson fight is the only fight I cared the most because I was so hyped when Tony was punishing Spencer. Yeah. Shout out to El Kachui. Tony El Kachui Ferguson. Yeah. Praying for Murphy to spinning elbow Mavsar. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. That ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. The Tony Ferguson fight's the only fight I cared the most. I was so hyped when Tony was punishing Spencer. Yeah, dude, shout out to Tony. Getting another win over another taxi driver, dude. Boosting his ego little by little. That's what we need to do for Ferguson, dude. That's what we need for Tony Ferguson. I don't think parents should have this type of control over grown-ass men's. Well, I hate to break it to you, Wakas, but in Eastern culture, over there in Asia and Russia, parents have a heavy influence on their children, no matter what age they are. And that goes into marriage, that goes into life choices, that goes into religion, everything. They have tons of control in the West. I mean, in the East. Maybe the reasons Russians fight because a loss feels super humiliating in the culture. Because before wins mattered to Hamzat, he fought pretty actively. Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why Dana hasn't signed any more Dagestani fighters because they rarely fight and constant pullouts do. Yep. Yep. They said it wasn't going to happen when Protest fought Nil. Said it wasn't going to happen when Murphy fought Pico. Said it wasn't going to happen when Pettis fought Magomedov. 2026 is the year of the spinning elbow. 2025 was the year of the underdog, dude. How many times in 2025 did the fucking underdog pull through and surprise us all? Holy. Incredible. Truly incredible. You're beautiful. I'm just tired of I think the whole Muslims shouldn't fight Muslims things is ridiculous, right? It's not beef, it's a sport, dude. Dude, I'm sorry, dude, but 30 to 40% of the UFC are probably Muslim. 30 to 40% of the UFC roster is Muslim. Maybe not that much. Maybe it's like 25 to 30. Either way, a significant portion of the roster is Muslim. If these guys are not going to fight each other, then maybe just don't be professional fighters, dude. There's too much clashing of religion in the UFC. I don't want to fight this guy because he's Muslim. My brother, Muslim brother. Like, I don't want to hear that, dude. It's ridiculous. Like, it's a sport. Get over it. You're not fighting him because you want to kill him. How do you feel about Ortega Moicano too? I mean, I'm glad Ortega's finally moving up to lightweight. That's good. He looked terrible in his last fight. I'm picking Moicano, dude. Ortega's washed. He did submit Moicano, yeah. 25% of the world is Muslim. You have to fight each other, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Can't just be like, I want to fight my... You guys saw that Hamzat and fucking Imavov are doing this shit now, where they're talking about they don't want to fight each other because they're both Muslim. It's not even around for Muslims to fight each other. Habib and Islam fought a ton of Muslims and even Dagestani fighters in their first, like, 10 fights. There you go. There you go. Oh, but I guess it wasn't a problem when he fought and knocked out Ikram. Yep. Way back when. But now that him and Imavov don't want to fight each other. Such a... Dude, I hate it, dude. This whole, like, I don't want to fight this guy because he's my friend or he's my same religion. I'm so sick of that, dude. Get out of the sport if you don't want to fight certain people in the sport. Just bye. We don't miss you, bro. Look, you need to look at the sport like a sport. Remember when Islam Makhachev failed drug test in 2016 and reduced his suspension to 6 months? Same goes to Usman or Magomedov, only got 6 months and no belt strip. Wonder why. Wonder why. Solution to champions refusing to fight contenders, strip them and kick them out. Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to do. MMA Joey sent me? No, he didn't. It's not true, good sir. That is not true. Why would MMA Joey send you? No wonder people prefer Brazilians as champs. Is Tate now the bottom G? Yes, he's indeed the bottom G after that performance. Same with Marab refusing to fight Aljo for so long. Yeah, dude, and I hated that whenever it happened. Thank goodness that Aljo moved up and lost the belt, moved up, but it was embarrassing. That when Magomed got KO'd, a lot of people were in mind were like, fuck MMA Joey. He was coping about it, but yeah, I'm sure they were. Why wouldn't you be, right? Why wouldn't you be? Magomed Uncle Live. Do you guys want me to post a video tomorrow? If so, what do you guys want to see? Let me know. Let me know. Fringe. Dude. You took a shit on the back of the bus. Maybe a tier list? Damn, I haven't done a tier list in a fat minute, dude. I could do a tier list, but what kind of tier list? Maybe. It's been a long time. It's been like probably 6+ months since I did a tier list. It's been a minute, dude. KSI would beat Tate. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not surprise me if he did. Tate shouldn't fight again. Guys, Magomed beat your favorite fighter by a lackluster decision. Don't be surprised if his fight with Yuri is a snooze fest. Yep. Magomed Ankalaev turns the most exciting fighters into boring decision merchants when he fights them. That's just a sport, man. That's just a sport. With them, at least. Still waiting for a prediction. Short. I dropped the ball with that one, so there's nothing to predict now. Most dominant rounds are fights. Most 10-8s or 10-7s, just some ideas. For a tier list? Oh, just for a video? Maybe so. Maybe I just make a video on how guys not wanting to fight each other because of religion or friendship is ruining the sport. How do you think Costa Ferreira will go? John Dong, I think Ferreira is going to be Costa by decision. I'm not going to be fooled by Costa's performance versus Kopylov, who's a bit mid himself. Pick Ferreira by decision. Hot take, the most dominant one this year is Ilya Charles, not DDP Hamzat. I mean, that's not a hot take, dude. Ilya beat Charles everywhere. He out grappled him. He reversed a takedown midair, put him in the position he did, got to the feet and KO'd him. Hamza versus DDP, it's tough for me to call a fight domination whenever there's no damage done, right? I think instead of domination, like Hamza versus DDP, I wouldn't call that domination. I would call that one-sided, right? I think domination and one-sided is a bit different, right? So I will say that Hamza versus DDP was one-sided. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam was one-sided. Domination is whenever you're like fucking guys up and doing damage and just destroying them every round. I didn't see that in the Islam or the Hamzat fight. Hit the likes. Yeah, like the stream, boys. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Fucking gas me up, son. Gas me up. John Don's nickname is Tiny. Harvey Dillon, that's the most unfunny thing that's ever been said, dude. Taporia Emmett was dominant. Yeah, it was like 50-42. Got a 10-7 run in there. He fucking destroyed Emmett, dude. How did Emmett take those shots? How did he take those shots? Fucking Emmett has a chin of iron. Iron. Oh, man. Time is it? 11:41. Sleepy. Just how good is Lerone Murphy, folks? I know. I'm slapping my knee right now. Just how hard does Jeremy Stevens hit to knock out RDA, to knock out Josh Emmett, and all the guys to knock out the Korean Superboy, dude. People forget, man. Jeremy Stevens. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. 49-45, fire the judges. Yeah, that's crazy. Should have been a fucking 50-40. 50-40 and 50-41 for the winner by unanimous decision. Yep, I should be a stand-up comedian. Fucking knee slapper, like the fucking dudes on SpongeBob in the movie, where they're fucking knee slapping or laughing, and that fucking biker pulls their mustaches off or their mouths off. That shit is hilarious. You took a shot on the back of the bus. Bow wow, chicka bow wow, bow wow, chicka bow wow. Oh, buddy. When is the next fight? Both Islam and Ilya's most dominant win was over Charles LMAO. Yeah, pretty much. Go figure, dude. Song John Dong. Oh my gosh, dude, this kid's a fucking comedian, man. This kid is a fucking comedian, yeah? Yeah, feel of a thing, yeah? Boys, we did Secret Santa tonight at my wife's family's house, and I got a little South Park Kenny vinyl figure. Isn't that cool? I'm just the fucking coolest kid on the block now, dude. Call me fucking Cool McGee out here. This guy, Harvey Dillon, is hilarious, dude. This kid's a fucking comedian, brother. Ilya Taptodo. Bop, 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 bop. I'd grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap the nose off him, yeah? Little ding dong of a thing he is, yeah? I just looked into it. Apparently, MMA and boxing is actually considered haram according to the Quran since it involves striking it to the face. Interesting. Violet reveal. Uh, is the cat on you, love? Is she on you, the cat? All right, guys. The cat is laying on top of my wife. If you want me to go get up and get the cat off her lap, donate $20. Pussy. They're not gonna do it. That's why I said that. But it says that often the Muslim fighters believe they can seek forgiveness since it's kind of a lesser sin. Sounds like religious hypocrisy, but neither here nor there. Marcus McGee, what about him? What are some fights that were clear domination, but people think it was close? That's a good question. Mm, I don't know. People still say Habib versus Gaethje round one was close. Dude, Gaethje was so scared to get taken down in that fight. It was crazy. It was crazy. Habib ally Quinta? Yeah. Habib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov. Like Gaethje landed decent shots, but Habib controlled the entire. Yeah, dude, he had Gaethje terrified, dude. Terrified. Gaethje was scared of. Yeah, Gaethje was terrified. Cook with me now. Cook with me now. I'm making pancakes. What's up, Unc? Dude, which of the upcoming fights in 2026 are you most excited for? Confirmed only. Yo, Unc Chato, fellow Unc. What's up, man? I am going to say I'm excited for Rufi Fazeev. I just like the striking matchup, and I think that's the one I'll enjoy the most. So yeah, that one. The title fights don't excite me that much, to be honest, because I kind of know what's going to happen. On top of my head, it was Leon Edwards versus Usman in the three. Weezer really had to make a video on whether Leon won or not. That's crazy. I think it's because Usman kept like sprinting to Leon and getting in his face as soon as the round started, which people like took that as him being dominant, even despite Leon just clearly outstriking him almost the whole fight. Jan Marab 2, JDM Bilal. Yeah. Oh, buddy. If you are what you say you are, a superstar. I'm probably gonna do like an hour stream, boys. Hour and 15. I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty sleepy. I had a long day. I had work today. Then I went to a Christmas party. Yeah, dude, it's been a long day. Most dominant one in UFC history. Biggie Benavidez too. Yeah, dude, that was like the closest we've ever gotten to like a murder inside the octagon. That was crazy. Actually insane. Motherfuckers will see Ewo versus Ebo and still say boxing's better. Yeah, I know, right? They're just gaslighting at this point. Wait, no, round one, UFC 254 was close. Imagine watching the Weasel. Even Steven Espinoza is less of a weasel than him. Steven Espinoza, you little fuck. If there were a guy that looks like a fucking weasel, that's fucking it. What you gonna do? You gonna say something? Shut your fucking mouth and sit yourself down, partner. If there's ever a man that looks like a weasel, that's fucking it. That was facts, Loki. If there's ever a man that looks like a weasel, that's fucking it. Alan Silva prediction? I'm gonna go Gene Silva by decision. I know it's picking this Gene Silva by decision is crazy, but Allen has a pretty good chin. John Silva by TKO. True. People thinking that Gaethje hits hard in Ilya just shows Habib or Dagestani the ride must stop because Habib's still with one guy his entire career. Yeah. When's the last time Gaethje knocked someone out with his hands? He didn't even knock out Tony Ferguson. That was just a beatdown. Last time he knocked somebody out with his hands was what, Barboza, like 6-7 years ago? Come on, bro. Be for real. Anderson Silva talking about being a police officer in Beverly Hills is crazy as fuck. Dude, Anderson Silva is just like living like the full. Bro's checking off all the bucket lists. Breaking bones, fucking fighting till he's 50. Police officer now. Bro's just checking all the boxes. Cowboy Cerrone. Go get some Donald Cerrone. Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz 2 thoughts. I don't want to see Tony Ferguson fighting MMA. Unless it's boxing. I'd watch Ferguson Diaz 2 in boxing, but not MMA. That was one of the worst fights ever, by the way. Ferguson Diaz, main event 279. That was a terrible fight. Tony looked like shit. Nate Diaz was running away. It was embarrassing. Cowboy Cerrone, man. Go get some Donald Cerrone. Remember whenever Greg Winklejohn said that? That shit was great. Nate Diaz, you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Tony El Kukui Ferguson. Oh, shoot. What's more embarrassing? Bisping screaming, baby boy, or Taporia changes his nickname to the legend? Probably Taporia changes his nickname to the legend, because I don't really think Bisping saying baby boy is that embarrassing. He's kind of desensitized me to it. I've heard it so many times. People forget, man, Nate Diaz got dropped hilariously by Jake Paul. He did. He did. How ass is him? Mike Perry got destroyed by Jake Paul. How ass is Salt Pappy? Salt Pappy. He's all right, dude. Tony Ferguson's just fucking boogeyman, dude. Yeah. Tony looked like shit. Diaz was running. Shit was terrible. Hey. I call it like I see it, Wakas. And that's what it is, man. We call it like we see it around here, around these parts. Probably got about 15 more minutes on the stream, boys. I'm struggling to keep my eyeballs open. I'm sleepy. When Jake Paul went for a takedown against AJ, I was like, oh, you're a wrestler now. Remember, I'm the black belt in jiu-jitsu. So you're a wrestler now. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Jake Paul got cooked. What's more impressive, 50-year-old Anderson Silva or 47-year-old Yoel Romero? I think Yoel Romero is still more impressive because Yoel Romero would have beat Jake Paul in a boxing match. Maybe. But they're both impressive. How much money would it take for you to fight someone in Misfits boxing? Alice Sadie, minimum $100,000, and all of my training and traveling and hotels and food would all have to be paid for as well. So fully accommodated, everything's paid for, and I get paid $100K to fight. That's what it would take. Yeah. That's $100K. That'd be worth my while, dude. That's reasonable, TBH. Yeah. I mean, I would have, like I said, all the training has to be free. All the traveling has to be free. And I need to be, all of my food and everything needs to be paid for. And $100K to fight. That's what I would do. Otherwise, I'm good. Right? Otherwise, I'm good. If you are what you say you are. Who you got, Anderson Silva or Andrew Tate in a goofy boxing match? I'd go Anderson Silva, dude. Tate looked terrible. He would gas out in like 30 seconds and Anderson would TKO him. Let's be real. Let's be real, dude. Andrew Tate, more like Andrew Gate. Oh ho ho, whatever that means. Yeah. We could have saw Hamzat fight Usman or Leon Edwards for the title if Dana Pink wasn't eager to see Diaz get annihilated on live TV by putting against Hamzat. I know. Yep, we could have. Dude. Looking back on it, it's clear that Leon would have got ragdolled by Hamzat. Tate literally kissed Chase in the ring. Yeah, bro was giving him smooches out there. I'm the fucking top G. 10 more minutes on the stream. I'm the fucking top G. How much money would it take for you to be a Misfits ring boy? I mean, I guess there would be a number, but to be honest with you, I don't have an interest in being a ring boy. That sounds kind of gay. So I'll go $300K a year to embarrass myself. $300K a year. So basically, I get paid like 50 to 75K every event. Even coked out Cesar Chavez Jr. would KO bottom. People forget, man. Cocaine's the best base for combat sports. Andrew Top Gay Tate. Okay. The Top G. What combat organization would you do commentary for, excluding UFC? Unchado probably, not PFL, not Ryzen, probably fucking probably BKFC. Feel like I can be a casual in that, you know. What did I think of Jake Paul's performance? Sagar, I'll say this: it was hilariously bad, but respect to Jake Paul for fighting a former heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua. He was never going to win that fight, but it was pretty bad. I mean, he had like he landed like one significant punch the entire fight, and it felt like Joshua was pulling his punches. It felt like he could have knocked him out a lot earlier, kind of playing with him. And Jake Paul was like falling all over this himself, fucking going for takedowns. It was pretty bad. But respect to him for stepping in there, you know. But a terrible performance nonetheless. We got to keep it real. Got to keep it real, man. Jake Paul looked horrible. Jake Paul was not even boxing. He needed to be disqualified. He was doing MMA. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I think he got more than one good shot. AJ did worse than Jake Paul. Yeah, but let's be real, dude. They both won at the end because they made a shitload of money, right? 90 mil? That's crazy. A lifetime of wealth for one fight. Crazy. One of the UFC retirement starter pack is getting KO'd by Jake Paul. You guys know that Tyron Woodley has not won a fight, boxing or MMA, since 2019. Or no, since 2018. It's been 7 years, almost 8. Plus, Jake showed a lot of toughness and not wanting to quit, but it was against AJ at least instead of, yeah, true. He's very clever. He fought someone who was way bigger, so he can give the excuse he lost to someone bigger and not as bad skills. I mean, he lost to Tommy Fury, and there you go. Tommy Fury is undefeated, but let's be real. He's beats taxi drivers, you know? You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, yeah, fucking. Guys, I'm tired. 5 more minutes. I'm sleepy. Jake ironically used a threat of the takedown to land an overhand in boxing. That is diabolical, dude. Floyd fought cans. I mean, dumb, yeah. The only time I wanted Jake to win, imagine how funny it would have been. Yeah, dude, boxing would have been, that would have been terrible for boxing. Why would he need an excuse for losing against AJ? Well, no, he's just talking about an excuse in general. Not that has anything to do with AJ, but he could say, well, of course I lost. I fought a heavyweight champion undersized by 30 pounds, you know? Whereas if he just got beat by a guy his size, he would just be like, have to like, just take it and say the guy was better. Whereas with AJ, he can just say AJ was bigger, had more experience. Yeah, you get it. AJ did terribly. Yeah, he should have folded them in round 2. Instead of taking it out to round, what, 6? It wasn't the best fight, I'll be honest. AJ didn't even care for Jake's punch. He's not known for great chin, but a cruiserweight punch was a fly. Yeah. Yeah. He spun his jaw. What do you mean? What exploded off AJ's face from a punch? Wow. All right, guys. We're approaching it now. I'm going to get off, guys. I'm tired. You guys take it easy and have a good night. I'm going to get some sleep. You guys take it easy. Good night, Stagger. Appreciate it.